Hi everybody, mabuhay. It's Carla Batan. Welcome to the Talent Huddle. So for today, I am very excited. I've been chatting with her since she got here and she's very generous to spend her time with us today. She is, I don't even know if she needs any introduction, but I'm gonna do my best to introduce our guest for today. So she is the Chief Operating Officer of an RPO business here in the Philippines, which has a global entity based in the US, but also in India. She is or has been recognized with the PMAP Exemplar Award, was a finalist in the 2017 People Manager of the Year, and then most recently, she was just named a Circle of Excellence Asia CEO Woman Leader of the Year in 2025 for her work in leadership, inclusion, and advancing women in business. Everybody, please welcome Monica Maralit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think she did a great job. I don't think I'm going to add anything else there.
Oh my God. I've hosted a couple of people here, but I don't know why this is the first time I feel nervous hosting somebody like you.
Oh my gosh.
I've met you in a couple of occasions. I've joined some of your workshops. The last one I think was in the 4th BGC. And I just don't know, when it's an event that you host, I'm like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna listen to Monica, and I don't know what we did to convince you to come here, but thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. I mean, I'm super easy. Anybody asks me to come, I just like, okay, sure, let's do it. Let's do it. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have a conversation. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we get to the topics I am very excited to pick your brain on, can you tell people more about yourself, what you do, who you are, and what should we know about you?
Yeah. So what you should know about me, I'm not sure if there's anything interesting to know about me. Like Carla said, I'm the COO or Chief Operating Officer for PSG Global Solutions. I've been with the company almost 17 years, and started when there was only 20 people in the company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and its height, it was probably 4,800. It's come down since then, but you can see that progression, and it's been really fun to be able to see a company grow. Before that, I also had the privilege of being a part of another BPO called eTelecare Global Solutions. Yeah, and so I started with them in 2000. And
drop the dates.
And I was the 27th employee hired. So I also watched that company grow, helped that company grow till the time that I left to join PSG. There was about 13,000 people at that time, and then eventually there was mergers, acquisitions, those kind of things to see it grow. But before that, I know you're thinking, oh my God, she was working in the 1900s. Yes. I was with Citibank for about 2.5 years, and that was just out of college. So I've been in what we used to call the call center a business for quite a while, and BPOs for quite a while, and to see it grow and evolve has been super exciting. I think myself as a leader has also grown, and so besides that professional side of myself, I'm very into women empowerment and building up women leaders.
You have your own organization, right?
Yeah, and I have.
Nonprofit organization.
That's right. And I wanted to make a bigger difference for the underprivileged. So I decided to open up the Victoria Heartstrong organization in 2023. And I support underprivileged young girls in high school and college through financial support as well as life lesson programs. So we are now coming into our 4th school year, and we have had, last school year we had 5 graduates from college, and a lot of them are the first-time graduates from their family. So that's really exciting to see.
Making a difference. Right?
Yeah. So it's a lot of work, more than I thought it would be, but it's very fulfilling as well. So
is finding that organization. Do you pick up your corporate know-hows to establishing VHO, Victoria Heartstrong? Is that complementary or completely different?
Oh well, it is. It's complementary in a way. So I think that my interest in uplifting women obviously came from the corporate side, because I would want to mentor young leaders and young women. And I guess even before corporate life, I've always been into women empowerment, even as a child.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually remember when I was in grade school in the U.S. I remember getting a group of girls to go around the playground with me to say that girls are better than boys. Girls are better than boys.
We should revive that.
Yeah. So even then, you knew that I knew that that was going to be an important part of my life. So it started in the corporate world, but the heart of it was how can I bring these young women who probably have always been within a small community into something that's bigger and larger for them. So that they can contribute. So bringing women to the table has always been one of the things I've been very interested
I
in.
have a follow-up question to that. We haven't even
Yeah.
introduced the main topic for today, but so my brain is picking up on that
It's
now.
okay, yeah.
Which is, where does that come from? From a young age, you said it's always been your advocacy. Is
Yeah.
it a calling? Is it your purpose? Where do you think that comes from?
I
That's
think,
driven you
yeah.
to where you are now.
I think it's probably very influenced from my grandmother and my mother. And that's why I founded the Victoria Heartstrong.
I did meet your mother when in the last
Yes,
graduation.
that's
She's a
right.
lovely person.
Yeah. So Victoria is my grandmother's married name, my mom's maiden name. It's my middle name, so that's why it's Victoria. And my grandmother was just a very strong woman. Out of the family, she obviously is the matriarch, and she was the boss. I mean, even if my grandfather was obviously
better
men,
than boys.
you knew she was the boss. She probably finished 5th grade, but she was the one that made the money. She made sure her kids went to college, and then my mom, she left the Philippines to move to the U.S. in 1973, and that was a really big deal because nobody had ever left from the family. Nobody had ever left. And so if you witness strong women and you tend to, want to do that too and be an inspiration as well. And so I think being the eldest also, the first born, and then I had my brother and after me, I always felt that I was superior to them. No, but
We're not gonna give the video to your brother.
Thank goodness.
Unless he already knows that you're the boss.
So I think that that's probably, where it came from. Something probably where you witness it, and then I felt just very strongly about it as I just
So it's
remember
always
that.
been there for
It's
you.
always been there. Like, even in, PE or sports, I always wanted to be better than the boys. And, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, that's the way it
Seems to have been a compass for you because you've been doing it ever since. Okay, so for everybody, before I fixate more on that, so I hope that somehow everybody has gotten a preview of why Monica is our guest for today, because like she said, she grew up in the US, and then earlier I also heard that she also stayed in Thailand for a couple of times. As the COO of a global organization like PSG, like we said earlier, it's US based, but they have operations or centers in the Philippines, obviously, but also in India. And the topic of today's Talent Huddle is really because I am, to be honest, I'm quite tired talking about AI because it's just like, do we talk about cars every day? I know guys do, but do we talk about PowerPoint every day? For me, AI is a tool. It is not here to scare people off, but at the same time, I still also acknowledge the fact that people are still unclear about it. There are still, I would say, an air of threat, maybe to some people, of what AI could do for their jobs. Now, because as you guys know, I'm a talent acquisition leader and Monica runs an RPO business. Who would be one of the best people to talk about how AI fits into recruitment? Because recruitment is a very human-centric business. It always has been. And I would say that even in the age of AI, I don't know what Monica will say, we didn't rehearse this, but I think that even in the age of AI, I do not think that's going to change. So let's talk about it, because this needs to be addressed, and I would say the right people need to be discussing this, and not to spread more chaos, not to spread more fear, but let's talk about it, because more people need to understand how does this AI affect how they look for jobs? How does this AI affect how they get shortlisted or selected for a job? So that is what we're going to talk about today. And I think the first thing that I would like to start off with is, so Monica is from PSG, which is in the RPO business, recruitment process outsourcing. Penn Brothers is not in the same field, but The commonalities between our two companies is that it's really a people-centric business. You find people, we find people, we offer opportunities. Outside of the BPO space, which the Philippines is well known for, I was telling this to Monica when I was in the graduation of PHO that what I like about Penn Brothers is that we offer not just the contact center professional, careers in the contact center, but in Penn Brothers we give you world-class finance and accounting people. We give you world-class IT support, for example. So I think that PSG Global and Penn Brothers are similar in the sense that we find people, we give them global opportunities, and then hopefully that the talent acquisition landscape for both our companies are really bringing out the best people for the job. So long introduction, but for Monica, I guess my first question would be, if recruiting is fundamentally human-centric, where does AI come in?
So I agree with you as well that recruiting, talent acquisition, this is always going to be human-centric. It has to lead with heart because you're talking about people. And when you're trying to find people an opportunity or a job, that's basically the majority part of their day. And so it becomes not just, or it should not just be a job, but it has to be, something that they find as a career, something they love, because they're being taken away from, family and other things that are interesting for them in order to live and to make money. So I do believe it will always be human-centric, and it always has to be with heart, kind of leading with heart. Where AI comes in, and if you as a VP for TA, there's some everyday kind of situations or things that people have to do in order to get to that conversation and that connection with people. They don't just suddenly, they're at your door or they call you. That doesn't always happen. So there's these things that you have to do on a daily basis, finding the people. So how do you find the people? How do you know that they're the right people and all of those things? So there are things that AI and automation can take care of so that there is more time for the recruiters to have real connections with people rather than spending their day sourcing, putting up job postings, reading through resumes and all of those type of things and just, yes, no. There's AI that can do that for them. Where we should be very careful, and I think as leaders in this space, we have a responsibility to make sure that we don't allow AI to take over human thinking. And by that I mean both in terms of the way it's developed, the way AI is developed and how it's deployed, as well as the recruiters. And I mean this in terms of don't let them become lazy, because they can become very dependent on, so
AI said this.
And so I take it as truth. Right. And then, yes, exactly. Because again, this is going to learn, sometimes it'll learn biases, it learns all of these things. And then the recruiter is not thinking about the person who has been handed to them. And that's really what we need to make sure that they stay on top of, is that they're still thinking this is the right person. I think we're not quite asking those questions. How do we make sure that recruiters do not become dependent on just the AI making the decision? And again, as leaders, that's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to make sure that if we're developing a product or developing a system for our recruiters to use, that the whole process needs a human in the loop in order to make the right decision. Otherwise, where will it end?
Yeah, where do you draw the line?
Right, exactly.
So I understand that PSG, you have your own AI interviewing platform. We call her Anna.
Anna.
Right. Is this your project? Did you start this with
Oh,
PSG?
no, I did not. It wasn't my project specifically, but it is one of a kind of a brainchild of the founder of PSG, one of the founders of PSG, Vivek Padmanabhan. So he was a huge proponent of it, and he developed it with our partners, ThinkBridge, and so it became very interesting to see it develop. And one of the times that we first introduced Anna,
that was in Fort BGC.
Yes, that's right. It was one of our first ones. She was, she could do the
Natural.
She can do it, but it was still. Now that I look back on it, at first I was like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, and then after a while, she learns a little bit more, and then she got better and she got better, and now she can speak 20 languages. I don't know how.
I wish I could.
I know, me too. I wish I could speak too. So, so she's learned different languages. She can actually have conversations in where she might even correct you. And I was like, girl.
Oh, she's thinking.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to see it kind of develop. But again, we have to remember that she is a tool, and she's supposed to help the recruiter. She's not supposed to take over everything that she does, but she is super helpful.
So when we talk about recruiting or applying for a job, there are two perspectives. One is from the talent acquisition side of it, or the business side of it, which is what you said. It's creating systems that empower recruiters to make more or better decisions, or to go through the, I would say, strenuous part of recruiting, and then focus on the quality conversations. That's the one part of it. The other side of it is the candidate perspective.
Yes.
In your experience in implementing ANA in PSG, do you see that candidates, whether in your US field or in the Philippines or India, do they participate with ANA, or do they still want a human interviewer just because my perspective is, oh my God, how do I even talk to an AI?
Yep. Yeah. So I think we have to look at this also in terms of who are we reaching out to? Obviously, executives probably will not have this conversation, right? I mean, it's a very different conversation. But other roles will be a little bit more open to having that first ANA conversation. And what we've found is that more often than not, well, let me start from the beginning. What we found in the beginning when we did this study by the Chicago Booth School of Business, they did an independent study. And they reviewed, I think, 17,000 interviews. They analyzed all of the interviews in different ways. And one of the things that they found was more likely they would choose to speak with Anna. Because at some point you give them, okay, do you want to speak to an AI recruiter, or would you like to speak to a human? So then you start to see.
So they had the choice from the very start.
When we were starting out, they would. And then we would test it out. So they only get Anna. Let's see how they respond. Do they hang up? Do they complete it? Do they, what do they do? And then we did another study. You have a choice, human recruiter or not. More often than not, they chose the AI.
In the U.S. market, is there a specific market that chooses that, or
so,
everyone?
In the Philippines, we did that study as well. Interestingly, when we first started this last year, Manila was more likely they were going to choose
human.
Choose Anna AI.
Oh, interesting.
In the provinces, they probably were not.
That's why you said Manila. Manila would choose AI. In the provinces, it's still more traditional.
It was more traditional. They think of it as they thought of it as like fraud. And so instead of completing the interview, they would go to the site, which again is kind of defeating the purpose of calling them up. You didn't want people to actually go to the site. But that's what happened. Now I think, again, because more people are used to it, then they're fine. They can choose it, or they choose, or we don't give them a choice and they just complete it. It'll be fine. And now we don't give them a choice. They just do it. But that's just an initial screen. Even in the US, it's also the same way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they are more likely to choose. Partially, I think it has to do with curiosity. Because, this is new, this is weird, let's try it. And then they complete it. But, I think Anna today, from maybe a year ago when we first kind of introduced it to the market and to you guys, she's a lot more conversational.
She's aged a bit.
Yeah, she's aged, she's mature, so I think it's a lot more natural, the conversations that they're having. And the one area that's been very interesting as well is that you would be able to utilize her for different industries, whereas if you first utilized a human recruiter, you have to teach them first.
True. Yeah.
So Anna can learn how to recruit for nurses, med surg, or anything else. And they can turn around and they can start recruiting engineers.
Mm.
But for a recruiter to know both,
Yeah, they have to go through training.
they have to go through training, they have to understand. And so
Yeah.
there are a lot of resources.
So, from a talent acquisition side of it, according to that example, isn't that a threat to recruiting jobs, to recruiters?
So I think where it is potentially a threat is at the beginning parts of the conversation. Because again, there's all of this work that's being done.
Automated.
Yes,
right,
it's
yeah.
automated and everything else. Anna's giving you a choice. I've reached out to this person. This is how they've assessed based on the criteria. Anna's assessed her, whatever. She's not making a decision, but she's giving you all of the information. So you as the recruiter are still going to have to look at this and say, okay, who am I going to pursue?
The human still decides.
Yes, the human still decides who am I going to pursue.
Yeah.
And in that case, great. If there's qualifications looks better here, then let me choose this person to spend my time with. Then they'll contact them. I think also what happens is there's an interest level that they're able to find. Because if you're a recruiter, you know that if the traditional way was you have a list of candidates, every time you call them, are they going to pick up the phone? Probably not. Right? So you call tons of people before you finally get to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. They've answered the phone. Now okay, they're not qualified. So you spend all of that
I know
time,
that's a
right?
big point, right? Like there's
Yeah.
always 100 of candidates. For you to get to that one, sometimes you have to go through the 50.
Correct. And then they're not qualified.
Yeah.
So-
The guy who picks up the phone is not even qualified.
Exactly. But with Anna, she's going to tell you, here, I'm going to present this all to you. You decide. But these are the people that have already responded, which means there's an interest already.
Yeah.
So then,
So it's
then you know.
interesting because for PSG, you find that more candidates are open to choosing an AI first interview
Yeah.
in the first selection.
Yeah.
In Penn Brothers, it's 50-50 for us.
Oh, yeah.
So 50% of people opt for a human interview, which we always accommodate. And the 50%, like you said, are actually curious, how does an AI interviewer
Right.
look like, feel like? And then further to that, when I did an internal study of who makes a decision better, like AI was going to suggest to you that, okay, Monica passed the first round, you should move her forward to the second. And then the recruiter will either agree or not agree to that. But I compare that also to if it's not AI, what happens next?
Yeah.
And the interesting finding, which I'm proud of my team for doing, is that we found that the AI actually eliminates the bias of, oh, actually Monica looks great on camera and she was very bubbly today. So yeah, I'm gonna pass her because I feel I connected with her. But not so much on the qualifications. But
Yeah.
with AI, it eliminates that.
Yeah.
So given that also,
Yeah.
what do you wish candidates knew about going through an AI interview? What are the common fears you've seen, if at all there had been, that you want to address and finally settle the score that this is actually great?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll settle the score, but I think for candidates, what I would love for them to know and to understand is that an AI recruiter is not going to make the final decision for you. They're not going to be the only ones who decide. And again, this is our responsibility as leaders to make sure that that doesn't happen. That the AI is not going to decide who gets a job and who doesn't. That's still going to be a human recruiter, or it's going to be a human. And even if you have a point where Anna has done all of the interviews and recruiter still has to choose, there's still somebody else we call kind of a human in the loop who's also still calibrating and checking. So we still have that point that you're calibrating, you're making sure that
Just responsible governance.
Yeah, exactly. So
of a tool.
Right, because it's going to stray a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to bring it back. You got to calibrate, just like
It's gonna
anything
hallucinate.
else.
It's gonna make something up.
Then you got to bring it back and everything. And we see that. I mean, that's just technology, because when you develop something, it doesn't go right the first time. It takes iteration after iteration after iteration for it to get better. So what I love for candidates to know is that, one, don't be afraid. Just have the conversation with the AI.
Try it
out, and see whether or not you feel comfortable with it. any point you can say, hey, you know what, I'd rather speak with a human recruiter. And as again, if we've built the system right, then it should go to a human recruiter. But again, they should not make the decision.
Yeah, they can
for
suggest.
Them. Yes, yeah, it can suggest. There should be always parameters. And again, as human leaders, we have to make sure that that happens. That that's part of our system itself. So that's what I hope that they will know. That
Candidates should know. Don't be scared.
Yes.
Try it out.
Yeah.
And then if you feel like you want another shot,
Yeah.
you opt for a human interview.
I think this goes, though, when we're talking about governance, it kind of goes deeper than just you and me and our roles and policy and procedures. It has to go, like in the US, there's a lot of regulations, there's laws, there's things like that. And that still has to happen, that has to be there. But people who are in the business have to be helping make those decisions and make those laws, so that you're not trying to eliminate it too far on one end, or you're too lax on the other end. So there has to be a very clear governance where we're protecting the candidates and also protecting the companies that are using AI.
Another side of this is the business side, and as a COO, I'm sure you talk to the board and you talk to other senior leaders in PSG. What have you seen they assume wrong just because your TA function is AI powered? Had there been assumptions on, oh, Monica, how come, the recent VP of HR hire is actually not a good VP of HR, but the AI scores said 4 out of 5.
Yep.
What do you think that they're misunderstanding about implementing AI in your recruiting process? Does it magically solve problems?
And sometimes I think what they think is that it will magically eliminate cost, because that's usually the first thing that they're going to think of. Well, how much does this
that true? Every CFO thinks that way.
Right? They're like, we're spending all of this on Anna. Are we saving anything? Is there any added value?
Or do you have the same headcount of recruiters
exactly.
you have Anna?
Do you have the same kind of head count? Do you have all of these different tools that you have to use since you already have this? I think that's usually the first thing that they think about is, what value are we getting out of the funds that we're putting into this? And that's something that we always have to justify. I mean, whether or not it's an AI recruiter or something else, there's always
any
something.
tool you invest money on has to give you ROI.
But I feel like there's some immediate bias that, okay, you implemented it, so you should be saving us 50%. No, you have to build around that. And I think that's one of the key things that sometimes doesn't happen, because you get this system, you get this AI recruiter, you get all of these newfangled things, but you haven't changed your workflows in order to have it integrated so it does support a better quality.
So it's
outcome.
not an immediate impact. It's not an immediate cost reduction, workforce reduction.
No, it's not. It's not, because there's a lot of things that you have to change. Anna is just one thing in the whole process. And it may eliminate some things, but it doesn't mean that it's going to eliminate everything downstream, right? Because they're like,
it's just one part of
it. Yeah. You can implement an AI recruiter, Anna, or whoever, in different parts of that system, but at some points, you may still have to have workflows that have changed. Now, I do think it should eliminate costs, or it should show value somewhere. Better hires, higher retention of your candidates, those type of things, higher candidate experience, those kind of things should really happen. But it doesn't happen just because you implemented it.
And it doesn't happen overnight. And it's not magical. It's a journey to get to those results.
Yeah, it's an absolute journey.
Yeah.
And when you think about the employee journey, that's just the first part of it. All right, that's your introduction into the company. There are a whole bunch of other things that happen all the way through an employee journey that still need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And so again, just because you implemented it here doesn't mean that suddenly, magically, all your problems are solved. I mean, we have also developed what we call the Aura Suite. I think we might have introduced that before as well. And the Aura Suite is basically multiple AI coaches that follow.
For recruiters?
Yeah, for employees, any employee
okay.
that follow the employee's journey. So after Anna,
Interesting.
they go into onboarding and training. So
Ah.
we have an onboarding AI that supports and helps, or onboarding automation that supports and helps new hires. When they go into training, there is also Coach Alan. We call him Coach Alan, and
Alan.
Alan as in the waves
Ah.
because it's per wave, right? You got it.
Okay.
So
Coach Al.
Coach Al. People in the U.S., our teams in the U.S.
I
keep
can
calling it
imagine.
Coach Elon. No, not Elon,
not
please.
Elon,
Not
no.
Elon. So Coach Allen also, helps as a practice for the trainees. After that, there's Coach Sarah, there's Coach Elaine.
Oh, they have names. They really have names.
Yes, they really have names. Coach Sarah, Coach Elaine. There are coaches for coaches. That's Coach Elaine, and Coach Micah, Coach Aries. So
I only met Anna, but there's tons of them.
there are other AIs, that's right, all throughout the journey. And so we continue to build that. But again, just because you have Coach Allen doesn't suddenly make all of your trainees, pass at 100%. It's only one part
Of the entire thing.
of the entire process. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my cheat sheet because I actually like the questions that I thought of when I was getting coffee, when I was driving, when I was picking up my laundry. So one of the things I wanna ask you, Monica, is, but has AI also created new problems for a business, for a recruiting team? We talk about benefits, but has it also created new problems?
Yeah, I think again that dependency on it has created some problem because we probably have not put in place a system in which you are going to check. That's the thing that you have to do. You have to check, make sure that your recruiters are not going to be too dependent on it. There are times also when Anna doesn't work, and she's not
She's
calling.
on vacation.
She's on vacation. She went on vacation by herself. And again, technology has to improve, and there's going to be glitches and all those kind of things. So you constantly have to check and calibrate. And you may find like one day, you thought that she was going to call all day. She decided she's going to call like half the day. I'm just making it up, but but there are times when,
because it's still a tool.
It's still a tool, and still a little bit of glitchiness to it for all. And so those are the things that you have to kind of be aware of, and you constantly have to have somebody who's checking and analyzing the data. I think that's also another thing that has to be a part of the process, is analyzing the data that comes out every day from the AI tools. And again, the dependencies on it sometimes, I guess that's with any tool, you get dependent on it. You use one type of AI and then you're like, oh, this is great. And you keep using it.
We were talking about ChatGPT and Claude earlier.
Now I don't have to think anymore.
I'm not even making my QVR. Claude is doing my QVR deck.
Well, don't say it out loud.
It's okay. Our CFO uses Claude.
So I think those are some things that that will go wrong. I think more often it's really just about us being cognizant that whatever system you put in place, whether or not it was an AI, whether it is an automation, whether it is a new applicant tracking system, or if it's a new person, even a new person, there's going to be something that's a little bit off at some point in time. And that's where
it's not a perfect.
Yeah, it's never going to be perfect. And that's the great thing about it, that it's never going to be perfect, because that means you can always improve it. And that's where I think we have to step in.